chosen ones, empaths, and all of the authentic souls that might not identify with a chosen one or empath title just yet. Some of you might have experienced the Hoover already. Some of you might be waiting on the Hoover. Some of you might have accepted the Hoover. But to those of you that are waiting on the Hoover, I just want to point something out, right? If you're waiting on the Hoover from the narcissist, right? Honestly, a lot of the times with these narcissists that are involved in your life, the Hoover is bizarre. The Hoover is strange. It can be something quite weird. It's not gonna be what you're thinking it's gonna be. You honestly expect a Hoover, after they've treated you badly, abused you, manipulated you, deceived you, cheated on you, whatever they've done to you out of the narcissistic handbook, you honestly expect some sort of you expect them to show to present the error of their ways towards you. You expect that, or you expect them to try and love bomb you, or you expect something like that. And honestly, this is why I say don't wait for the Hoover. Don't wait for the Hoover. You should count yourself fortunate if the narcissist is not hoovering you. Okay? Because Hoovers are a temperament checker, like I always say. Hoovers are a temperament checker. Okay? They will do something in your life. Contact you from a fake profile. Say, hi, how are you? Hi, how are you doing? You've left something at my house, or I've left something at your house, or they'll do something, right? They'll do something strange, they'll do something bizarre, and they're honestly assessing how you'll respond to this situation. They're testing your temperament. That's what the Hoover's all about. Okay, now I know some of you have had declarations of love. You have had narcissists saying, because I read the comments, you have had narcissists saying acknowledging the error of their ways, and they're using that as a manipulation tactic to try and get back into your life. But honestly, a lot of these narcissists out there are way too stubborn to do that, and I've been talking about this recently quite a lot, about how they're quite stubborn to actually, put themselves in a vulnerable situation and say that they're sorry, say that they've done wrong. There are a lot of them are very stubborn, so they resort to like further manipulation tactics to test your temperament. Okay, because honestly, they want to see if you're still hurting. They honestly, a lot of Hoovers are baiting as well. They want to see if they can do something to you, maybe antagonize you, maybe hurt you some more, and see if that makes you reach out to them or something like that. But honestly, if you can prepare yourself, if you haven't had the Hoover yet, or you have had the Hoover, they do try time and time again. If you can prepare yourself to ignore the narcissist, this honestly is the worst thing you can possibly do to a narcissist is ignore them, because or tell them to go away or whatever, right? Is because they've put so much thought and strategized so much before this Hoover. Even if it's just a fake profile, you might just take it like, oh, they've created a fake account and contacted you from a fake profile. Like, they put thought into that. They ruminated about it. They tried to calculate how you're going to respond, if it's a way back into your life, how it's going to affect you. They really ruminate about this, and this is why they often stay stuck, and then you don't hear from them for such long periods of time. And that's why many of you put in, that may have not had a Hoover yet, you put in the comment section, oh, Zion, no Hoover in 7 months, no Hoover in a year, no Hoover in 2 years. I saw a comment today, no Hoover in 8 years. But this is why I wanted to address that. A lot of the times, because you was expecting, or maybe you was researching online, you were reading books, or you were seeing stuff online from videos on our channel or other channels alike, and you were learning about the Hoover. Maybe some of you were misconstrued exactly what the Hoover is, and you was expecting, like I was talking about, a declaration of love, an acknowledgement of the error of their ways, and you was expecting something of that kind. And this is why a lot of the Hoovers actually went over your head initially at the time when they happened. To stay informed on topics like these, subscribe to the channel. Links for all I've mentioned in the description box below. So, sorry. A lot of these hoovers went over your head initially when they happened. It could have been just after the breakup. They said something to you like, "Oh, I wish you could have treated me better." Or I don't know, I'm just reading stuff off, right? They could have said something like, "Oh, I wish you could have treated me better." Or I wish we could have gone and done A, B, C, and D. Or they said something like this towards you, right? And this was a Hoover. This was the temperament checker to see if you say, "Oh, I can treat you in this way. I can be kind. Or we can go and do these things that we plan on doing in our future." Or whatever, you know what I'm saying? This is what they try and get you under the spell of. So this is why many of you have already had Hoovers, okay? You've had Hoovers. They could have said to you, "Oh, you left belongings at my house." Or they could have left the belonging at your house and you haven't spoke about it. And they left that belonging there. That was a Hoover. This is what I'm saying. The Hoovers are weird, okay? So if you could ignore them, ignore the narcissist when they try and hoover you, when they try and bait you, they expect you to reach out. This is what the narcissists that are involved in your life expect you to do. They expect you to reach out, you know, they expect you to chase after them. Remember, they're assessing you the whole time. And they misinterpreted the love that you gave as a weakness during the relationship, through the duration of the relationship. After the relationship ends, they realize this is actually a strength of yours, okay? They realize this is not to be messed with, and your love was pure, your love was honest, your love was true, okay? And they basically believed it was down to their own doing, how they were able to get you under that love spell. They thought they were doing like a manipulation on you to be able to get you under that false pretense, if that's the right word, like under the impression that you're in love and stuff like that. They thought that was down to their own doing, but you are a good-hearted person. You are kind to people. You are loving towards people. You are supportive towards people. This is who you are. And that's why afterwards they realize that this love that you gave is actually down to you as an individual. It's not really based on what they were doing, and it's not from their own doing or from their manipulation why they were able to do that. So they will do these temperament checkers, as I like to call them, these Hoovers. I guarantee if you reflect back, you've already had some. You've already had some. You need to, I don't want you to dwell on the narcissistic relationship, but if you take a moment to reflect, I guarantee they've done something. They've done something to hoover you, you know, or provoke you, or bait you, or whatever. They've done something. This is what they're doing. And it's, as I was saying, it's because you're expecting a kind of, like I was talking about, the declaration of love or an acknowledgement of the error of their ways. These things go over your head. You don't realize they're happening. You don't realize they're actually trying to hoover you. They're trying to lure you back in. Okay? So if these things went over your head and you didn't notice them, or you didn't fall into it and you didn't chase after them, you didn't start pursuing them, they left something at your house and you threw it away, or, you know what I'm saying, you just ignored the fact of these temperament checkers and these Hoovers that they're trying to do on you, this frustrates them, because they really wanted to lure you out and mess with your head. You know what I'm saying? They really wanted to lure you out and mess with your head. They really wanted to they deliberately provoked you or baited you or done these temperament checkers, as Hoovers as people call them, to make you chase after them, to make you think they're still interested. This is what they do. It's what they do. So if you ignore them, it's the best thing you can do, honestly, because think about it from their perspective. You went your separate ways, and the narcissist done some sort of baiting, some provoking, some sort of temperament check, a Hoover, done something towards you, and it went unnoticed. You didn't react. You didn't chase after them. You didn't pursue them. You didn't phone them. You didn't contact them. Think how they feel. They feel ignored. This makes them mentally collapse. And they've done these time and time again. They've done these time and time again. Even those of you that have been put through ghosting or silent treatment from the narcissist involved in your life, that's them doing a reverse Hoover. That's them trying to put you in a position of vulnerability and pain, so you chase after them. So you act needy and desperate. And yeah, you might have sent a few messages, you might have phoned their phone, you might have tried to talk to them because you didn't really have a clue what was going on. But then you just carried on about your business and got on with your life. And these narcissists, that they feel ignored through that experience as well. Okay? So honestly, all of you collectively as a group of empaths, chosen ones, and authentic souls that neither identify as chosen one or empath, don't wait on this Hoover. There's just absolutely no point. I understand that you wanna get some acknowledgement. I'm not belittling you now when I say validation. It sounds like I'm belittling you, but I'm not belittling you. But I'm trying to speak to you exactly what it is. If the narcissist even did reach out and say, "Oh, so and so, I'm so sorry because what I did, I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have cheated. I shouldn't have lied. I shouldn't have done this. I'm so sorry." Like, imagine they'd done that, right? And they started trying to love bomb you. "Oh, you're the one for me," and everything like that, right? Like, they're phony. You know what I'm saying? You can't take them seriously after what they've put you through. So even if they done what you was expecting of the Hoover, or what you had an assumption of what the Hoover entails, even if they done that, because I can't rule it out, some narcissists do that, even if they done that, it's not going to do anything for you. Okay? It's not really going to do anything for you. And for those of you that have let the narcissist back in after they've done that, I'm not shooting you down. I'm not putting you down. I understand if you believe them and you gave them another chance, that's what they wanted. But it's most likely now you've seen it's a repeat cycle of events. And all I'll say to you is, even if you've been on and off with this narcissist numerous times, right? You know, numerous times, the number doesn't really matter. And they hoovered you, and they hoovered you, and you went back in and whatever. It's just, you've got to hit the point when you realize that they're phony. You can't allow this person back into your life. And sometimes you have to go through the cycle with these narcissists involved in your life a couple of times to truly understand. Not a couple of times, because I've heard of people in sessions that have been on and off with narcissists for years, you know. But you have to go through a specific time period till you realize, okay? It's not a race. You're not competing with any other empath or chosen one or authentic soul out there. And no chosen one, empath, or authentic soul is going to look at you any different because you let the narcissist back in. You know? I'm not going to look at you different because you let the narcissist back in or you gave them another chance. Like, that's coming from a good place. Like, you were trying to fix a relationship. That's okay. You know? You were trying to fix a relationship. You thought this person was your soulmate. You wanted to repair it. You wasn't as awakened to narcissistic abuse as you are now. You know, but where you're at now, you know, you need to draw a line in the sand. And enough is enough. Enough is enough. So, all I'm saying to you, for those of you that haven't had the Hoover yet, they're going to do something. I see people on the channel say things like, on our channel, I see people say things in the comment section on our channel like, they haven't had a Hoover. Then I'll see another comment from them, and they'll say they have had a Hoover, you know, after a period of time. Or I see people going through the motions, just through the comments. I don't know exactly what's happened, but roughly what they're saying in the comments is indicating that these things that I am saying is actually surfacing in their own lives. Okay, and that's why I'm saying, I know some of you have been a few months out or years out. It doesn't really matter. Okay, I've heard of narcissists hoovering after years apart. Okay, I've heard of narcissists hoovering after decades apart. This is why I'm saying don't wait on it. They want you to be in that same place. And that's why I'm saying, if a narcissist has left it a matter of months or years, when they come with this temperament checker, they're going to want to assess and see if you're still vulnerable, if you're still willing to let them back in. It's highly unlikely they're going to come with a love bomb straight away, because it's not going to work. If they come with a love bomb after years apart, I don't think it's going to work. Maybe they do that. I don't know. But maybe some of you have experienced that. So if you have, put it in the comment section. But they're usually a bit more calculated, and they'll try other ways to try and infiltrate your life once again. Or assess. It's an assessment. They're constantly analysing you. They're constantly assessing you. They're constantly provoking you, baiting you, doing these things to see how you respond. It's all about how you react, how you respond. This is what feeds them. This is what honestly feeds them. So, for those of you, don't wait on the Hoover. If the narcissist does Hoover you, just ignore them, tell them to go away. It's best to get out quietly from a narcissist. It's best to get out quietly. It's best to get out quietly and leave them to it. But if they do Hoover you, they're gonna be pissed. If they do these temperament checkers, they've done them to you already, and this has gone over your head. So they're feeling ignored anyway, because the things they done, these little things they left at your house, or whatever they tried to do to you after the relationship didn't work. So they're feeling ignored. Sometimes they use silence to try and bait you out, or to provoke you, or to anger you, to make you chase them. And maybe some of you ignored that as well. And this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm trying to get at. They're feeling ignored. They're feeling frustrated. They don't understand why you're not reacting or responding in the way they planned it out. Okay? Narcissists expect you to chase them and chase them and chase them. And this is what makes chosen ones and empaths and authentic individuals different. Because when a chosen one or empath or an authentic individual starts to realize that they're dealing with a phony or they're dealing with a fake, there's something in the empath and chosen one's mind that shifts. They no longer look at that narcissist that was involved in their life with the same loving eyes. They no longer look at them in that same loving way. And it can be shocking. It can be hard, and you go through heartbreak and you go through hurt and everything like that. But you realize that they're not that person that you believe them to be. They're a phony. So a lot of you that will receive Hoovers, when they do it, you're going to be so sickened by it. And they leave it for lengths of time, weird time. Like when you're least expecting to hear from them, they'll do something, or and you'll just be sickened by them. Honestly, it's best to have nothing to do with them. I know many of you desire to have another conversation, to get a Hoover, to get honestly really count your blessings, because there's so many chosen ones, empaths and authentic individuals around the world that literally just can't get rid of them. You want them to go away and get on with their lives, and they're just annoying. They're pests. And I'm not saying that they're turning up to your house or anything like that, but they might be turning up to your house, or turning up to your work, or calling your phone, or they're annoying. They do all sorts of provoking things. the fake profiles, all of this stuff that they do. And it really irritates. It starts to irritate the chosen one and the empath. So honestly, you count your blessings. If you haven't had a Hoover, that you can acknowledge just as of yet, and even what I said about looking back into retrospect, at perhaps just after the relationship, if there was anything that you could point to or to indicate to that it was a temperament check or a Hoover that they were trying to do, honestly, count your blessings. You don't need it. You honestly don't need it. You really don't need it. The best thing you can do is focus on get your own life. That you don't need them to be part of your life. That's something that you feel like you feel incomplete after the narcissistic relationship. You feel incomplete. You feel like you need this person to be by your side, or you need them. You can feel like that, especially if you're discarded or anything like that, and especially early days on. But you'll go through that period and you'll realize that you really don't need them. You really don't need them. It's them that needs you. And if you're able to ignore these Hoovers, these temperament checkers, or you have already ignored these Hoovers and you ignore future Hoovers, it's the best thing you can do. It honestly makes them feel worthless. It makes them collapse. They'll go through a mentally collapse, narcissistic collapse. They'll feel so rejected by it. And they've actually put so much thought into before whatever they do. Before whatever they do, they've put so much thought. They've ruminated. They thought about this. They're fucking weirdos. They're seriously messed up in the head. They're seriously messed up in the head. So just ignore the Hoover whenever it comes. There's no point trying to talk to them. There's no point trying to talk things through. They don't listen properly. They can't, even if they hear you, they know what you're talking about, but they try and deflect. They try and move the goalpost. They try and do all these things. There's no point talking to them. They're a waste of space. And like I said, I've heard of these Hoovers coming after years apart from people who I've done sessions with. And in the comment section. Honestly, don't wait on it. Focus on improving your life, bettering your life. In all aspects. Focus on trying to improve your life. Healing, obviously, of course. Healing, focusing on improving your life. And just count your blessing. You want rid of them. You honestly want rid of them. You really want rid of them. You really want rid of these narcissists. So, thanks for listening today. If the links for all you need are in the description box below. And if you'd like to know more about It's Only a Matter of Time Before the Narcissist Wants You Back, click this video here. I'll be back with another video soon. Peace.